Dualie Squelchers are really fun weapons to use, however they do have a few weaknesses. The largest one is something that's inherent in all dualies, that being the shots aren't super accurate, especially not before you do the roll. Sometimes you'll be shooting at someone, but they won't be taking any damage. It's real sad, especially compared to a weapon like the Splattershot Pro that has the exact same range but fires paint like a colorful laser. Couple of Dualie Squelchers' lack of accuracy with it being a 4-shot kill instead of a 3-shot kill, and there's not much of a reason to use it over the Splattershot Pro if getting lots of quick kills are your top priority. The Squelchers just lack the level of lethality. If the Pro is the fireman, then the Squelchers are Soth. That was a reference to Fire Emblem 10, which nobody played. Hey Nintendo, if you wanted your console strategy RPG to be successful, maybe you shouldn't have released it a week before Mario Galaxy? These weapons are the epitome of versatility. Any way you want to play can be done at least pretty well with the Dualie Squelchers. You want to run around and get kills up close? They can do that. You want to hang back and get kills from a distance? They can do that. You want to cover a lot of turf and play support? They can do that. You want to tag your foes, run away, and let the rest of your team get the kills? They can do that. You want to sit on the crate and just chuck bombs? They can do that. You want to roll off the map? They can do that. You want to do electric slide? They can do that. They're tied with the Google Dualies for being the longest range dualies, and they have a high rate of fire, and they're pretty lightweight weapons that let you run around real quick, and they cover turf and charge your special pretty quick, and they're the only dualies in the game that let you do the sliding dodge roll. With most other dualies, you finish rolling, and then it's like you're stuck in mud for a few seconds. However, with these, you can keep moving, so it's almost like there's no end lag. While they are a 4-shot kill, they have a high rate of fire, so you can miss some of your shots and still get a kill pretty quickly. They have longer range than weapons of a similar fire rate, like the NZAP and Tenatech, meaning that in a head-to-head 1v1, you'll have an advantage over them as long as you can space them out and use your rolls to dodge their shots. At least, they're a 4-shot kill against anything except the Dynamo Roller, apparently.
I count 6 shots. I count 2 guns.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go. Going new, and the search is a mystery. Standing on my feet, it's so hard when I try to be me. Whoa, deja vu.
Since this is my first, and probably only, video about a set of dualies, the first thing you gotta know is the roll of the roll. You got all kinds of rolls. Forwards roll, backwards roll, side roll, pizza roll, sushi roll, front diagonal roll, back diagonal roll, cinnamon roll, liniment roll, single roll, double roll, Dark Souls roll, Monster Hunter roll, reverse roll, sliding roll, For Glory roll, Star Fox roll, roll to dodge inkjet, acting roll, stop chopper roll, roll for initiative, highway roll, egg roll, bread roll, roll tide, roll off the map, dog roll over, roll over. Here's when to use each roll. With the forwards roll, you almost never want to use this one. You don't want to roll into your opponent's range. The only time to use it is if your target is fleeing and you need to quickly close the gap on them, or if you pick up the Rainmaker or Clam Football to score some quick points in enemy fire. The backwards roll is your bread and butter. You want to use it twice if you're getting shot at by a short range weapon and you need to escape the range. After rolling back, you want to space your opponents out so that they're inside your range, but you're not inside theirs, and quick cover the ground in your color ink so that it's tough for them to approach. The side roll is good for escaping the one-hit KO range of bombs, and also dodging into cover from chargers and splatlings. With this roll, you'll always want to do the double roll, since the single is usually not enough to save you. As a blanket rule, it's better to go double roll over single roll in general, although there will definitely be situations to go single roll over double. With rolling, there are 3 things to keep in mind. 1. You stop shooting while you're rolling, so if you're about to get a trade, it's better to just keep shooting and get that trade, rather than doing a side roll and dying while they still live. 2. Being able to roll and slide in one direction while aiming and shooting in a different direction is a very good skill to have. And 3. Your Squelchers are more accurate immediately after a roll, so I've seen some players not shoot an enemy until after they've rolled, but I mean, I don't really do that. You have a high rate of fire, so just keep shooting and eventually you'll hit your mark. Oh, and for the reverse roll, yeah, never do that. You may think you're tricking your opponent, but most low-level players don't have the reaction time to fall for it, and most high-level players won't fall for it at all. When it comes to strategies particular for the Squelchers themselves, things that work for mid-range shooters work for them too. For shorter range weapons, let them come inside your range and shoot them before you're inside their range. For longer range weapons, you can use the good mobility and diagonal rolling of the Squelchers to get in close and try to close the gap. However, you're probably just better off sneaking around and flanking them instead. How to flank.
Got him!
And now to say something that many people may disagree with. In the right situation, Dualie Squelchers can be pretty effective against blasters, other than the I miss Splatoon 1 blaster, aka the Luna blaster, and the I suck at the game blaster, aka the Clash blaster, both of which you can easily roll away from and just zone them out. The Dualie Squelcher is able to use its sliding dodge roll diagonally to get in close. The blaster, range, rapid, and rapid pro have to keep you at an optimal range in order to be really good, but at very close range, they're pretty much useless as long as they can't land any directs, which, beyond its blaster mains, while there is a good amount of skill involved, a lot of getting directs just comes down to being lucky. For the original Gurren Lagann dualies, point sensors and antenna missiles are the most underrated sub and special, and together they make your opponents bear the One Ring and turn the player into the Eye of Sauron. I see you. You'll always know where the other team is with these two. Always keep in mind that point sensors tell your whole team where the enemy is, not just you, and that they activate as soon as they hit anything, so they can be kinda hard to throw sometimes. Antenna missiles also let you know where your opponents are, so you can use antenna missiles and then tag them with a point sensor so that your whole team will know what's going down. Antenna missiles can also help in tower control defense, since if you use them on squids standing on the tower, they'll have no choice but to get off. Antenna missiles are really just good at making the other team sweat a little bit. This set is clearly focused more around support. With this sub and special, you'll be the king of assists. For the Super Galaxy custom Dualie Squelchers, the combination of Splat Bombs and Inkstorm make for a more aggressive set focused on offense. Chucking Splat Bombs in key places can be a source of free easy kills, and if someone is chasing you, then you can drop a bomb right at your feet to buy you some time to reposition. Inkstorm is good for aiding your team on both offense and defense. You can also combine the two to add sudden pressure to the other team, especially if you do it towards their spawn. With your special fully charged, you can throw one bomb, launch an Inkstorm, and then immediately throw another. Choosing which Squelcher to use really comes down to what role you want to play on your team. If you prefer to hang back a little and play more support, then go basic. If you want to be more of a frontliner and charge ahead, then go custom.
Caillou. DTF like Caillou, my dick fresh like Caillou. She get wet like Caillou.
See your body into the moonlight. Even if I try to cancel all the pictures into the mind, there's a flashing in my eyes. Don't you see my...
With the Dualie Squelchers, you want to stay mobile, so both swim speed and run speed are good abilities to run. A little bit of ink resistance is also good if you happen to roll into the enemy ink and get stuck. Each roll takes about 5% of your ink tank, and each shot takes 1%, which may sound like a little bit, but is actually a lot when you're using both. So Ink Saver main can help prevent you from running out of ink, and stacking Sub Power and Sub Saver are good for either Squelcher. This weapon charges its special in about 15 to 20 seconds, which is about as fast as Yo Girl came last night, so using special charge can make the splooge happen even faster. I used to recommend Haunt for weapons with point sensors until I realized that it does not do what it used to do in Splatoon 1. Instead of tagging your killer after you respawn, it instead covers them in thermal ink, which is, well, it's pretty fucking useless. So don't use Haunt, and don't be like me, stuck with all these shirts with Haunt on them. Haunt is bad and dumb. Also, don't use Drop Roller. It's built into your weapon. You can jump and roll immediately whenever you want without the perk. And thanks for watching. This weapon is a lot of fun to use. Feel free to comment any advice you may have for it down below. And now here's a very mediocre montage of me using the custom Dualie Squelchers to try and dominate League Battle.